right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It is August 22nd, 2025, and today's the big day. Just in about like an hour or so, we are going to be getting Jerome Powell at the Jackson Hole 2025 Economic Symposium, and they're going to be talking about the labor market. So if you didn't watch the watch list, you still have time. We went over some of the other Jackson Holes pretty much from like 2017, even going back to 2010 in some ways. We talked about the two phrases that you got to be looking out for, and really all we're looking for this morning is whether or not he's going to be definite. And if we do get something definite, there's going to be a lot of plays out there. If it's not definite, though, I think there's going to be a lot of premium, and it's going to be a nightmare if Powell just makes this a dud. So get ready for both. I think we are fully prepared. Again, the dollar, the euro, shy, all of that. You already know, baby. So I hope you're ready for it. I got a little bit of news for you, then some plays, and then literally about 30 minutes after the bell, all of this is going to start. And then Donald Trump is going to go live as well, too. Who would have thought, baby? Patriotism. Oh, man, it's a Friday, baby. Good morning. How you doing, Dos Nacho? What up, hustling ain't easy? Lucky Soldier, Malcolm King, Dos, Chad Cleveland, Nate McVise, Mr. Mosby, Zoraz, Forrest Gump, Tyree, Frankie, Ryan Bahar, baby. What's going on? Ben Stone, Opinion, Owaske, Luigi, James. Good morning, baby. What up, Option? What up, Opinion? What up, Lego? How you doing, Devin? Oh, my goodness. Good morning. That's GD. Blizzy B. Allen. Investor Ivy. The Forbes. All motivated. Good morning. Eating Rana. So, Chatadonia, are you ready? It's going to be fun. I think just keep swimming, swimming. What do we do long term? Okay, anyway. So, here's Josh AI with the news. I think it's a little shorter. So, yeah, everybody's waiting for Powell, baby. Good morning. And here it is. Top overnight news. Central banks, a Fed's annual conference begins with Powell due to speak Friday at 10 o'clock ET. Bloomberg, Federal Reserve officials cautious on September rate cut amid inflation concerns. Reuters, Goolsbee says he hopes dangerous inflation data was just a blip. Bloomberg, corporate NVIDIA orders halt to H20 production after China directive against purchases. The Information, Reuters, Meta signs $10B plus cloud deal with Google. The Information, Meta hiring another key AI executive from Apple. Bloomberg, Musk tried to enlist Zuckerberg in $100 billion bid for OpenAI earlier this year. FT, Workday posts stronger Q2 profit. Revenue meets Wall Street expectations, acquiring Paradox. Link, Intuit sales surged 20% in Q4, but weaker forecast drags shares down. Link, Zoom Communications forecasts sales growth in boost for AI-related tools. Bloomberg, Ross Stores beats Q2 earnings despite tariff hit, expects bargain-driven demand. Investing, Starbucks expects to receive bids for China business in 2 weeks. Reuters, Core Scientific fretted over raising cash before CoreWeave tie-up. FT, activist Sevian takes stake in Dulux paintmaker AkzoNobel. FT, Tesla to integrate DeepSeek Dubao AI for in-car voice assistance in China. Bloomberg, Stellantis to bring back the Jeep Cherokee as a larger-sized electrified SUV. Bloomberg, hedge funds bet against European car firms as tariffs and competition bite. FT, e-commerce firm Pattern considers IPO filing by September. Bloomberg, Spirit Airlines borrows $275 million from revolving credit facility to avert looming cash crunch. Bloomberg, traded tariffs. Walmart warns Trump's tariffs are pushing up costs week by week. FT, U.S.-EU trade deal excludes wine and spirits, frustrating European exporters. Bloomberg, markets, stocks, bonds fall again as traders reduce bets on Fed Reserve rate cut. Bloomberg, UBS forecasts 3% Eurozone earnings contraction in 2025, recovery by 2026. Reuters, Japan's 30-year bond yields hit record 3.21% amid inflation, fiscal concerns. Bloomberg, Washington, White House considers taking stakes in companies receiving CHIPS Act funds, but has no plans to seek stakes in larger chip firms investing in the U.S. or Reuters. Pulte says Cook referral part of broader crackdown Bloomberg as Justice Department calls on Fed to fire her. FT. Staff cuts and turmoil hit Commodity Futures Trading Commission just as workload from crypto booms. Bloomberg. White House examining all 55 foreigners with U.S. visa for violations. AP. Supreme Court lets White House cut millions of dollars in medical research grants that don't align with Trump's policies. AP. Bloomberg. Newsom signs bill calling for special election on redrawn congressional map, following through on Texas response promise. AP. Trump visits police troops in Washington amid crime crackdown. SCMP. Geopolitics. U.S. European military chiefs plan Ukraine security guarantees. Reuters. U.S. factory in Ukraine hit by Russian missile in Moscow's biggest attack for weeks. FT. EU speeds up digital euro plans after U.S. stablecoin law raises concerns. FT. Economy. UK consumer confidence hits 12-month high after BOE rate cuts. Bloomberg, but faces inflation tax hike risks. Reuters. UK sees further hiring slowdown over summer. City AM. Germany's economy shrinks 0.3% in Q2, signaling deeper recessionary territory. FT. Japan's core inflation cools to 3.1% in July, easing rice price pressures. CNBC. There's more. Good morning. S&P futures, they're up by 0.3 Friday morning. Comes after U.S. equities finished mostly lower on Thursday. S&P was down for its 5th straight session. It's the longest losing streak since early January. That's so surprising. Mag 7 down for the 5th straight session. Treasuries little change to a touch firmer. Yields are down 1 basis points on the longer end of the curve. Dollar is flat after pairing 0.4 on Thursday. Gold is off by 0.3, and Bitcoin futures are off by 0.1 with WTI up by 0.1. Fed in focus with a lot of debate about whether Powell's speech this morning will feature a more dovish tilt. Comes as September rate cut probability has fallen to 70% from just 90-something% a week ago, with market pricing just under 50 basis points of easing, now nearly 65 in just a few days. More AI scrutiny with report NVIDIA has told component suppliers to stop production related to H20 chips amid China's push for greater use of homegrown chips. Also, more concerns about structural pressures of global sovereign bonds with 30-year JGB yields hitting a record. Higher JGB yields driving global liquidity concerns as well. Earnings takeaways mixed, as still largely company-specific with some disappointments in the tech space, but more support for off-price retail. Fed Chair Powell speaks at Jackson Hole Economic Policy Symposium at 10 a.m. Eastern. Nothing on the economic calendar today. Looking ahead for next week, new home sales, Dallas Fed on Monday. Tuesday brings durable goods, FHFA price index, Richmond Fed and Conference Board on the calendar for Wednesday. Q2 GDP revisions, initial claims, pending home sales out on Thursday. Friday brings July personal income and spending report, the highlight of which will be core PCE inflation along with the financial university. It says financial. Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations for August. NVIDIA reportedly has instructed component suppliers to halt production related to H20. Google reportedly won $10 billion cloud contract from Meta spanning 6 years. Starbucks reportedly expecting bids for China business within 2 weeks. Workday Q2 CRPO subscription revenue and OM were ahead. Those scrutinies surrounding full year 26 guide. Intuit fiscal Q4 ahead. Full year guide light on the back of weaker than expected GBSG outlook. Chalked up to continued MailChimp headwinds. Zoom boosted by stronger than expected performance in enterprise segment. Ross Q2 slightly better. Full year guide reinstated and company talked up sharp rebound in July and early BTS trends. Activist investor Sevian Capital acquired a 3% stake in AKZOY. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, AKZOY, Akzoe. But other than that, Chad, that's everything, man. Even the play. It's not that much news, bro. Everybody's waiting for Powell. Everybody is waiting for Powell. So, yeah, we got a couple of pre-market movers. Really not much. Again, everybody's in waiting mode. There is a couple of plays out there. Again, I hope you watch the watch list. But the last 2 days of waiting, I mean, the premiums have been chilling, bro. Everybody is waiting. or not even just the premiums, the stocks. But UI is up by 11.4, earnings 33% dividend increase. NEO is up by 5.2, begins pre-sale of new generation ES8 SUV. Zoom is up 4.2 off earnings. Ross 3.5 off earnings. CCJ 2.3, National Atomic Company earnings sympathy. Roblo up 2.2, Wolf Research upgrade. QXO up 2.1, Benchmark initiates buy. Ulta 1.9, Barclays upgrade. Google 1.2, $10 billion cloud deal with Meta. Newegg is up 12.3 off earnings. BHVN up 11. FDA advisory committee meeting is no longer needed for Troluzazole NDA. ACMR is up 9.6 in reaction to report NVIDIA has instructed component suppliers to halt production of related H20s. RLX 7.1 off earnings. SBET 1.5 or 4.1 off a 1.5 billion stock buyback. USAR up 2.5. China's MIT issues interim measures around the controls of rare earth mining. UEC up 2.4. National Atomic Company sympathy. METC up 2.4. Q3 stock dividend for Class B common stock. IXHL up 39. 20 million stock buyback. ANTE is up 11.4. 180 million direct offering at 220. Lumen is up by 38. EVTL up 2.8. Cantor initiates overweight, trading lower. Intuit down 6.2 off earnings. Workday down 4.8 earnings to acquire Paradox. BJ down 3 off earnings. Blush down 2.1 or bullish. NVIDIA down 1.4, reportedly directs certain component suppliers to stop production related to H20. SMCI and AMD down in sympathy. VKTX down 1.8. Gap down 1.7. Barclays downgrade. FEAM down 21, common stock offering. And Fly down 9.7, borrows entire $275 million under revolving credit agreement. Hot dog. So that's it, man. 10 minutes. Gone in 10 minutes, bro. Are you kidding me? Gone in 10 minutes. But I have something for you. So did you all watch the watch list? I hope you did. I hope you did, because there was a lot of big info there. I really, again, I was even looking around. So I think the watch list was very timely. Just because a lot of people are either talking about this not being an event, or they're just talking about it like it's every other like Powell event, not really specific. So like I'm telling you, we really did outline some stuff yesterday. I think you got to pay attention to, you know, labor market or inflation. And like we've seen with the history, you know, there's many windows. There's the first 30 minutes ahead, which is technically going to be soon. You guys realize that? So at the bell, like that first chart I showed you guys yesterday, where, you know, it's tracking, you know, what's happened with the bond yields. That was 30 minutes prior to 1 hour after the remarks. So think about it. Right when the bell starts, that's going to trigger that in terms of where the yields go. And that sucks because, look, you're already waking up with a gap up in a weird way. So I think you've even got half of the move already in a very, very odd way. But the whole point is this, is that, again, we know what to look for. If he does be definite, if he really gets something there, yeah, watch the bond yield. So now here's the thing. Snap Mole's raising money for AR glasses project. What are you going to do? And then you're going to warn. You're going to be like, oh, the Sydney Sweeney. How does the fuck, Evan, how does Sydney Sweeney have anything to do with disappear? Sydney Sweeney. What? So I hate you. I hate you, Evan. I'm sorry if your name's Evan. He fucked you. That's not your fault. You know, it's a beautiful name, actually. So God bless you. But anyways, sorry, I was like a little cuckoo. But point is, Jackson Hole today and Mr. Powell, just be on the lookout for those statements. And this is what I wanted to tell you. I want to make sure you watch the watch list, because I'm going to add to it. So if you didn't watch the beginning watch list, you're already falling behind. I have another theory. Would you guys like my theory here in the next couple of minutes? I could give it to you. I don't know if you'd be interested, but like I told you, I'm not expecting much, but I'm prepared for every direction. But now, I don't know, like this was like leading into this morning as I kept reading it and I was getting ready. I'm like, man, do you guys know what this thing is called? Like, do you know what the title is for today? Is called Jackson Hole Economic Symposium, Labor Markets in Transition. So, like I'm saying, we brought up the title briefly yesterday, and this is where people think, you know, there's an opportunity, but like that, dude, that title, that might be enough to that could be definite. You see what I'm saying? No, just labor markets in transition. Remember what we talked about on the watch list yesterday? We said inflation or labor. And that is what's going to really determine a lot of, the definiteness that we're looking for. So I still think he has a neutral out. Labor markets in transition, he could bring them up and then still say, we must wait and be ready and cautious. Or he's going to say, this is all about labor markets and we need to protect the labor market. And then that's going to be your bull bet. So yeah, that's the thing. That's the only thing that stood out between last night and right now. And people keep talking about it, the title, but then like we said, you have other follow-up data and a few other things at play that just, Powell could be big, but we need the right combination. So that's what's so exciting about today. Because like I'm saying, here in the next about 45 minutes when you hear from him, the right combination of words and accurate and definiteness and accurateness, that could drive a lot of things. Otherwise, if he doesn't say much, you are going to go right back to what you came into. So get ready. But other than that, I think we got a little bit of time. We've already gone over the plays. I have plays for you. I'm going to be watching Google, Netflix, FXY, the dollar, FXE, and HYG. So don't bring it up, okay? There's one, you guys, if you bring up this play, I'm going to ban you. Why? Because I put it on the watch list and it's really quality information. So there's that one bond play with no premium. That would be the only one that I would consider looking at right off the bell. So we got to verify it. But other than that, I really like I'm saying, I've been kind of talking about it here. I would watch for the dollar. The dollar, specifically the euro. Again, remember, dollar is paired with everything. So if the dollar strengthens or weakens, that's going to move other currencies. And right now, the euro is at a very major spot. I've been showing you guys this from the beginning of the year. We've talked about the euro rally. It doesn't really get too much attention unless you're on Wall Street or into foreign investments or you're European. But no, it's very, very critical. That's why I'm saying if worst comes to worst or best comes to best and we actually get a real big day today, I definitely think the dollar is going to give you a lot of dollar-euro combo. There's going to be a lot of movement there. And then again, if we could get one of those cheap bond plays, that you just need a surprise. Otherwise, at this point, the final one will be whatever happens with the 2-year, and then we'll go from there. If it's going to get really bullish, TLT could benefit, but I hope you've noticed TLT doesn't really come up right now. TLT and, how bonds have moved after Jackson Hole, even the 10-year. It has had big moves, but very few and far between. And again, there's even in 2023, let me put it that way, 2023, 2022, TLT did absolutely nothing. Wow, there was probably one of the biggest moves in a decade or two on the short end. So that's why anything could happen. And unfortunately, the long end is mirrored by uncertainty. So if today could change that, then yeah, TLT will come and play. But other than that, it's all the other ones that I mentioned that are probably going to go first or have a better, more direct impact. To Mr. Powell. So, Chatadonia, is there any questions? I'll take one question, and then so we don't delay too much, we'll take one question. We'll move on over to the video, and then, we'll go from there. So, any final question to make it worth it? What do we got, baby? If he says inflation is going up and unemployment is going up, if it's not definite, then I think we're going to remain in the same spot. I would say that would be bearish, though. Because that would just him be saying, what's it called? That would be him saying that it's why'd I just blame that it's stagflationary. And that was the data yesterday. I did not like that data. So that would be bad, I would say, in my opinion, but you never know. And I think that would be fascinating if we did get that outcome. I would love to see, but my first thought would say negative in that sense. All right. How about Jesus for Fed chair? I like Jesus. And you guys kept tagging me on that Twitter account. I hate that account. You guys know that, right? But yeah, that's good. But at the end of the day, It's game time. You know what I love? I love something. I love freedom, man. I really do. You have no idea, Chad, and I hope you realize how free you really are. Don't take anybody's chains. You don't got to put them on you, but it's very easy, man, to not recognize how great this country is. Okay? Every time Donald Trump says we the hottest, people say we the envy. I think we are, but it's not for what you think it is, man. It's freedom, bro. This idea of freedom. And, oh, man. So don't get me started. But truly, man, if y'all have contributed to that freedom, you have fought for this country, you have rejected the comforts of daily life to go and serve, bro. I don't think I could ever thank you guys enough. And I hope I could always give back to y'all. I hope we could get y'all housing and make sure y'all never, ever need anything, have everything you will always need. But at the end of the day, I also hope you get some real estate and take advantage of this market, and I would love to help. But what I'm trying to say, man, is that this country is amazing, and even beyond this country itself, it's the people, and it's the veterans, active service, past service, the amazing men and women who have literally, they left their families, they left so much to go and put their life on the line. Some people just doing tasks and work, bro. You have no idea. It's actually insane, man. And they have made a commitment, and it's an invisible army. It's a real army, but the invisible impact, and we all benefit it and see from it, man. It's truly amazing. So I hope all of you could take the time in your day, and I hope you have it in your heart to show this love and appreciation to the veterans, because they deserve it. And not everybody has made that commitment, and every day we prosper in the fruit, and we go and we trade the markets and do all of this. But if you were anywhere else, big dog, it would be a lot different. So veterans, the families, active service, past service, for real, thank you for everything. God bless every single one of you. And please, let's get you a long-term, a crib, and anything else, man. But at the end of the day, we appreciate you and love you. And I hope all of you who have never served, man, if you don't bring this into real life, and you don't show this, and if you can't find it in your heart to thank and be appreciative of the people who allowed your journey today, brother, you're going to have to check them priorities soon, okay? But God bless you all, and big shout out to everybody else out there giving back to their local communities. All the doctors, nurses, teachers, firefighters, police officers, the janitors, the coaches, the garbage men. God bless you and thank you, baby. And thank you for keeping your communities running. But ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Set the digits! Oh, it's game time, baby. Or not. Okay. Chad Adoni, I love it. It's Friday. Oh, and then, yeah, Powell just in 30 minutes. So I hope you're ready and locked in. Again, I don't think there'll be too many pre-plays that we didn't know about. So we'll see where it leads us. But other than that, Chad Adonia, I think it is time. I think it is time. So, yeah, we got to move on over to Gen Pop. Do I still have it or no? I do. Nice. All right. I hope it takes you there. If not, YouTube wants you to have less optimal info. But that's fine. So I'll see you there. And God bless America, bro. Thank you, veterans. And I hope you all have a beautiful day. And if I don't see you, man, I talked about it a lot yesterday. I got a lot of rest, too. I love it. I have so much work, bro. And you have no idea. But I love it. So it's very simple, bro. Y'all just rest up, man. And I hope you have a good weekend. If I don't see you, I don't know what's going to happen today. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad, man. But I do hope you rest up this weekend and get refreshed, man, as we get into another month and even the end of the year, baby. So God bless you all. Enjoy it, man, and rest up and be easy. Unless you're wicked, because then the wicked do not rest, actually. That's the text. I know. I'm just playing with you. So have a good one. God bless, man, and I'll see you for power. Peace.